My name is Carina Gardner, and I'm what you would call a practical designer. If you're ready to create a life that you love, become an incredible force for good, and generate income while pursuing your dreams, this is the podcast for you. Welcome to Make and Design. I heard this recently, and I think it is so true. So I thought I'd deep dive into this with you because a lot of people think that creativity is just this amazing, spontaneous thing that you do. But this quote I heard really takes away from that. So this is the quote. Creativity is not a talent. It is a way of operating. I'm going to say it again. Creativity is not a talent. It is a way of operating. And I think this is really important because one of the things I see in people's design and their art businesses is that they think that creativity is something that is only scheduled during the time they put into it on their daily planner or daily schedule. It's what they're doing as they are trying to actually implement, if you're doing the design process model, if you're implementing only and trying to get all of that design work or that artwork done. But here's the thing. The idea that it's just not a talent, it's not just something that is for the few, those that are innately talented, but it's literally for everyone. And those that are operating in creativity have more opportunities for actually using that creativity and making something from it. That is a really interesting idea. And it's one that I really want to explore with you today. So if I am someone who operates from a place of creativity, how do I live my life? What do I do in my daily activities that make me feel like I am operating with creativity? This is something that I've really thought about because, I have a large to-do list and I'm a real big daily planner. If you haven't seen any of my daily planners, we sell them on Amazon. They're called the Design Suite Daily Planner. You can go check it out by going to designsuitecourses.com/daily planner if you want to learn more about those. But I really do put a lot of creative time on my calendar. And what I mean by that is I will do anything that I think will bring me fulfillment through creativity. Now, for me, that might look different than what that looks like for you. Right now, a lot of my creativity goes into problem solving. I'm problem solving what's going on in my businesses. I'm problem solving what marketplaces I want to be in. I'm problem solving how many people I want working on my design businesses if you have like a virtual assistant or anything like that. I'm spending time deciding how much I'm going to post into social media, how many videos I'm going to make on YouTube. Now you might be like, well, Carina, that sounds like planning. Who says that planning is not a creative process? It definitely is for me. Like it's exciting, it's interesting, and I'm really trying to solve a problem, which is part, or if not the main thing that creativity is doing. Solving a problem, okay? Also putting time on my calendar to do the things that we consider more authentically, what we would do as an artist or designer, like get some watercolor time in, implement and create some new villages that I want to work on. Those types of things, adding those into my calendar and actually doing them are considered, very stereotypical creative time. For those of you who listened a few weeks back, I talked about the artist way, and she suggests an artist date. And that's actually putting time on your calendar to do something creative for yourself. An artist date is done by yourself. It's not done with other people. You do it for yourself, by yourself. And you get very good at being with yourself and living with yourself and understanding what you want, which is a very interesting concept or idea. So I think that when we're operating in creativity on a daily basis, we are very aware of our activities. Now, you might be like, well, Carina, I'm always aware of my activities. I actually think that's not the case. And I've been noticing this about myself, especially as I've been relatively tired jump-starting the university at the same time as owning two other businesses. I have the design businesses, and of course I have Design Suite. And then jump-starting the university was like, hey, you might be a little out of your league here, Karina. That it's a lot of stuff going on. Being CEO of 3 companies is a lot. And so I've been operating a little bit, not out of creativity, but of tiredness, like trying to figure this out and make it all go. But I think it's really important to pay attention to how you're actually operating with that kind of self-awareness. Now, I say this because at the end of my day, sometimes I am just ready to zone out because I'm just tired. I'm a little worn down. And there's lots of ways to even operate in creativity, even when you're worn down. And I don't know if I've thought about it in this way before, but I think it's actually really important. So one of the things I took up about 4 or 5 months ago is reading fiction again. Now, this is kind of a funny thing for me. I love reading fiction, but I really read, and you guys hear me talk about nonfiction books all the time. I like learning. I like the knowledge. I'm always trying to up-level what I'm doing so I understand myself better, my business is better, my design work better, and how I'm operating. So it was really interesting when I took up reading fiction again, because I found, first of all, that I can read fiction extremely fast, because those of you who read nonfiction know that sometimes in nonfiction, it's like deep diving into analyticals and statistics and case studies, and those things take brain power, okay? They just take brain energy. And fiction writing, I can zoom right through. So first of all, it makes me feel super accomplished. I don't know that it necessarily makes me feel creative, but it relaxes me. And what I find is that my creativity is revitalized after I am relaxed. And so in that way, I'm very aware of the fact that if I can get in 30 minutes or an hour of reading from a book at the end of my day, I have jump-started myself into relaxation so that when I go to sleep at night, I am thinking about all the problems I need to solve, all the creative things I need to do, and bringing those into, ironically, my sleep patterns, because the number of times and those of you on the Design Your Life podcast, you've heard me talk about this, the number of times I have woken up with a huge solution to a problem in many ways I didn't even know I had, has been kind of crazy in the last 4 to 5 months. And I really attribute this to choosing to read something that has nothing to do with my businesses, that has nothing to do with design. That it's literally because I've chosen to do something that is outside the norm for me and I haven't had time for, and that relaxes me. I have found myself coming up with more solutions to things. And by the way, you guys, decision fatigue is a real thing. I have been in the throes of making a lot of decisions. If you are starting a brand new design business, you are in the throes of making a lot of decisions. You know what I'm talking about. Which online platform should you start on? How to learn Illustrator, how to learn Photoshop, which medium you should get in, what knowledge you're missing, doing research online, starting to learn the software, the difficulties in learning the software, decision making about the amount of time you're going to take in coursework, the amount of time you're going to spend building your business. These are all things that cause a lot of decision fatigue. And when we have decision fatigue, a lot of times what will happen is we'll put off making decisions, which is not good because then we don't move forward. Second of all, we're just too tired to make decisions because we've made so many decisions that day that we start making faulty decisions. And so, or we're too tired to make them at all. So we don't make any. And so these are real problems. And so if we can find ways to integrate and operate from a place of creativity, then what are we doing? We're finding moments to relax in our life. And I'm talking about on the daily, you guys, because I relax. I force myself to go on vacation. Just a week ago, I went out to Bear Lake with my girlfriends. And another week, I'm leaving with my entire team and my leadership team to go to Bear Lake. Our Filipino team, they have a retreat as well. And so I think we all need to relax to some extent because it is to revitalize and really sustain us so that we can build ourselves up so we can operate even more from a place of creativity. And so finding that rest in a daily situation, I think is really important. For me, I just found that fiction is really great. The other thing that has been really great for me, and this is really funny, is I do like TV. I like a movie now and then. I think those are really awesome. But what I find the best for me, you guys are going to laugh at this, is a TV show called Martha Cooks. And yes, it is that Martha. I find Martha Stewart very relaxing and kind of cracks me up. And I like looking at her Bedford homes, and I like watching her cook. I actually do not care for Martha Bakes or any of the other ones. It's just for me, Martha Cooks. And so I will throw that on, and I won't watch it exactly. Like I'll hang out. I'll maybe write a few emails. I will, Charlie, who's my youngest, will come hang out with me. The two of us will just like hang out. We also so Martha Cooks is one of them. The second one that we really like is on Disney Plus, there is a new series of Mickey Mouse videos. Have you guys seen it? They're really, really short, like 6 minute, maybe 10 minutes tops, Mickey Mouse video shorts in a kind of a cool, crazy style. They're clever. They are so clever. And the number of ideas I get from how clever these Mickey Mouse videos are, like, they're so, so good. If you have seen them, let me know. I like honestly think they're brilliantly done. The artistic style is very interesting. The solutions and the gimmicks are great. A lot of slap comedy, and I think they're brilliantly done. And so I will go out of my way to watch and do things that I think will either relax me or give me new ideas. And I think that is operating from a place of creativity. Now, you might be thinking, and I'm going to challenge you to do this, what are my places of operating from a place of creativity? So what I'd love for you to do, and this is just on your own, when you have a second today, take 5 minutes and just write a list of ways you operate from creativity, okay? Not from zoned out, not from habit, but just you operate from a place of creativity where you add things into your life and you are actively becoming or trying to be creative. Because I think we're actually doing a lot of things, okay? Sometimes it is literally from detouring from our regular routine of whatever we drink in the morning or eat in the morning and doing something different and new. Right? When I go to the grocery store, am I operating from creativity or habits, right? These are things that I think if we start kind of looking at these daily little things that we're doing, that there's a ton of power in them. And so kind of pay attention. I'm going to challenge you to write some things down. I think you will see them more clearly in your daily life. And that is a really incredibly powerful thing. All right, guys, hopefully you enjoyed that. And I will see you very soon.
Did you know you have access to more free design content, die cut files, and sewing patterns? Join our exclusive VIP group for free by going to designsuitecourses.com/free.